Alex Eala, Indonesian partner, showed grit versus Fernandez Mladenovic. The Southeast Asian pair Filipino Alex Eala and Indonesian Janice Chen showed poise under pressure to escape Leylah Fernandez and Christina Mladenovic 7-5, 3-6, 10-6, and barge into the quarterfinals of the WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open in the United Arab Emirates early Wednesday, January 4th, Philippine time. With their round of 16 clash going down the wire, Eala and Chen stayed calm and collected in the tiebreak, and broke a 6-6 tie by scoring 4 straight points to shut the door on the Canadian-French duo's comeback bid. The triumph carried extra weight, with the 32-year-old Mladenovic a proven force in the discipline as a multiple Grand Slam champion in both doubles and mixed events. The victory from Eala and Chen set them up a quarters showdown either against the pairs of formidable Ukrainian sisters Lyudmila and Nadia Kichenok or Spain's Cristina Buxa and China's Shuai Zhong. While Eala has advanced to the singles last 16 against Belarusian Alexander Sasnovich, the Indonesian was recently booted out after a 2-6 loss to number 5 seed Russian Lyudmila Samsonova. It was a lethargic start for both Eala and Chen as they dropped the first 2 games in the opening set, but they quickly regained their footing and took the next 3 to seize a 3-2 lead. Locked at 5-5, the pair showed composure against their battle-tested rivals in the ensuing games, most notably the 12th, where they converted a breakpoint to seal the opening set. Despite stumbling in the second, Eala and Chen bounced back strongly and gave the overseas Filipino workers the moment of celebration with a gutsy finish. Rising together, the grit, heart, and Southeast Asian spirit of Alex Eala. In the desert air of Abu Dhabi's early February tennis circuit, under the bright lights and watchful eyes of a global audience, a story unfolded that spoke not just of points and games, but of perseverance, camaraderie, and cultural pride. It was not just any doubles match. It was a moment that shone with audacious spirit and rising talent. At its heart was Alex Eala, a young Filipina tennis star, and her Indonesian partner Janice Chen, whose partnership echoed something deeper than rankings and records. The build-up to a defining match. Before the first serve was ever struck, there was the story of the draw. Alex Eala and Janice Chen, 2 emerging stars from Southeast Asia, was slated to face Leylah Fernandez of Canada and Christina Mladenovic of France in the round of 16 of the WTA 500 Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open doubles event. Fernandez, a powerful baseline fighter with a sparkling singles resume and Filipino heritage, partnered with Mladenovic, a seasoned veteran and multiple Grand Slam champion in doubles and mixed events. For many observers, the Canadian-French duo carried the aura of experience and pedigree. Meanwhile, Eala and Chen represented something different: youthful ambition, regional pride, and the hunger to break through against the odds. Many had watched Eala's steady ascent over the past few seasons, from her successes in junior Grand Slams to her strides on the professional circuit. And while her singles game had garnered headlines, this foray in doubles with Chen was fast becoming a moment that resonated far beyond the tennis courts. The stage was set for an unexpected narrative. A slow start, but a quick awakening. When the match began at the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center, Eala and Chen dropped the first 2 games of the opening set, a jittery start that could have easily knocked the confidence out of less seasoned players. Yet something remarkable happened. Instead of folding under early pressure, the Southeast Asian pair steadily found their stride. They rattled off a sequence of games that pulled them ahead, capturing a 3-2 lead. Locked in a tense 5-5 battle, every rally was a test of nerve. Every point a microcosm of the larger story they were crafting together. With maturity beyond their years and lived experience on the international stage, Eala and Chen seized a critical break in the 12th game, capturing the first set with an unshakable mix of grit, touch, and tactical poise. Adversity strikes, and they respond. The second set saw Fernandez and Mladenovic strike back with force. Taking control early, the experienced tandem showed why they were feared opponents. Fernandez's sharp angles and aggressive ground strokes, paired with Mladenovic's double savvy and net prowess, tilted the momentum. In a display that seemed to underscore the gaps in experience between the 2 teams, the Canadian-French duo claimed the second set 6-3. At this juncture, many would have expected the match to slip away from the young partnership. But tennis, like life, often rewards those who refuse to quit. With the match headed to a deciding super tiebreak, 10-point tiebreaker, Eala and Chen's internal compass pointed firmly toward belief, a belief in each other and in their ability to rise above setbacks. The decider, grit under pressure. In the super tiebreak, Eala and Chien surged early, cracking open a 4-1 lead through crisp serving, angled returns, and tactical daring. Mistakes from Fernandez and Mladenovic momentarily threatened to close the gap, but the Southeast Asian duo refused to yield. Through a blend of athleticism and composure, Ray and partners just beginning to build chemistry, they steadied their nerves when it mattered most. In those final, breath-catching moments, the match became less about rankings and more about resolve. Every rally was an embodiment of unshakable trust in their skills, in each other, and in the belief that they deserved their shot at advancement. When Eala and Chien finally sealed the match with a series of brilliant plays and a triumphant point that wrapped the tiebreak at 10-6, it was a victory that echoed across the stadium. What this win means. On paper, a win like this, 7-5, 3-6, 10-6, is a scoreline. In spirit, it is something far richer. For Alex Eala, this victory reaffirmed her burgeoning reputation as a rising force in world tennis. Already known for her singles capabilities and historic breakthroughs, including notable performances in WTA events and Grand Slams, she displayed versatility, resilience, and the mental toughness required to compete at the highest levels in both singles and doubles. For Janice Chien, the match was a statement in itself. In partnering with Eala, she matched fire with fire, showing that Southeast Asian tennis is not just alive but ready to compete with the best. Their triumph together was a demonstration of what is possible when individual skill converges with mutual belief. Moreover, this match transcended sport. It spoke to a region's pride. Southeast Asia's presence on the global tennis map has often been overshadowed by players from traditional powerhouses. But Eala and Chien's partnership, a Filipina and an Indonesian, pushed back against those narratives, reminding the world that rising stars can come from anywhere, and that grit is measured by heart as much as by rank. Beyond the win, growth and legacy, as the crowd erupted in applause and the scoreboard flickered with the final numbers, the larger impact of that match began to ripple outward. Young tennis players watching back home, from Manila to Jakarta and beyond, saw something uncommon: representation, and with it, possibility. A victory against a duo like Fernandez and Mladenovic was not just an upset, it was a symbol.